Alright, and we are live. Welcome to Go Stadium's first look into the Jungle Cup. Just announced this afternoon for the month of July. The Sylph Arena Cup will consist of 4 types: electric, buck, grass, and normal. No generation restriction like the previous one, but we do have species restrictions in the form of Tropius and the Burmese family. Other than that, there's a pretty wide pool. So the first thing that we want to talk about is this afternoon here on the 18th of June, the Pokemon Go scene, PvP scene on Twitter blew up a little bit. And we have our Twitter up and running now if you guys want to follow us. Let me pull the hashtag up. And we do have a social media personnel for the Discord. So let me introduce you to Honda if he wants to say a few words. Are you there, Honda?
Hi, everyone.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'm here. Just wanted to thank everybody for giving us so much support over the past few days. I know we've kind of blown up over the past 24 to 48 hours. So continue to please share that. As you know, many of you that are watching, this is the hub for all Pokemon Go PvP action with a lot of the top competitors in the world. So please make sure you stay in tune to our social channels. There's going to be a lot of new stuff coming your way, some collaborations with other creators, and a lot of new things. So please make sure to follow us on Twitter. Make sure you're liking and retweeting those tweets. And we appreciate all your support.
Remember to use hashtag GoStadium as well in there. And with that, I think we can move on to actually talking about some Pokemons that are good in the Jungle Cup. So tonight we're being hosted by AJ and Justin Polymers. So what are your top picks for the Jungle Cups?
I'll let Justin go first.
Yeah, so I think PV Poke's rankings is pretty spot on. Vigoroth, Forretress, and Noctowl look to be 3 really dominant species for this cup. Vigoroth is one that's really interesting because it doesn't really have any really hard counters in this meta. Most of the things that beat it by dealing neutral damage and then resisting its counter damage. So those are the 3 that I'm trying to keep an eye on. How about you, AJ?
Man, I'm really interested in what Heracross is gonna do. I've heard a lot of people talking about it, and dealing super effective damage without needing to worry about whether shields are up or down against Vigoroth is interesting. I don't like that it gets deleted by Noctowl, but I think Noctowl itself is going to be really interesting. And then Magneton, I just have a weak spot for it since that was my first serious PvP trade. So I've been testing a lot of Magneton. I feel like I have to invest in a Noctowl this month, and Vigoroth as well. But there's so many really interesting picks that are sort of emerging from people in discussion. I don't think this is going to be a stale meta at all. It's not shaping to be that way. Maybe like Kingdom was. It seems like there's going to be a lot of dynamic teams, and it's going to be a hard nut to crack when we get to infographic stage.
Yeah, I agree. So Vigoroth, yeah, I mean, really the only other counter users out there are, that can really threaten it in terms of dealing super effective damage with their fast move is Breloom and Heracross. Those are really the 2 big ones.
Yeah, and they're both frail, so they're both very heavily attack weighted, so that always is a risky play because then you get their counter and they just get deleted, right?
Right, and both double weak to flying, so you could see someone pairing, say, like a Noctowl with Vigoroth pretty effectively.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of interesting play with electrics this month. I have a feeling that electrics are going to be pretty key, in that there's not so much ground to totally wall it, like that was the case with Quagsire in this previous meta, most recent meta. So that's why I'm thinking Magneton is going to be pretty big, just because it has that magnet bomb coverage. And then, much to my regret, we have a little Raichu meme going on in our Discord. Tasarin is like a huge Raichu fan, so he's gonna have to run both Raichu and Alolan Raichu this month. I'm gonna regret saying this, but I think Raichu is actually gonna be pretty good. But he has to run both of them, so we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, there's a few interesting electrics. You mentioned Mags, Raichu, and Alolan Raichu, which its typing gives it like a little bit, of an advantage against Vigoroth, because being psychic typing, it can resist the counter damage at least. It still doesn't, excel against Vigoroth. It loses the no shields, 2 shields, and then can tie the 1 shield, depending on how that plays out, which is a little tricky with Vigoroth and some of those other Pokemon that have really low energy cost charge moves, because they can sometimes piggyback and sort of flip, what the sims are initially showing.
Yeah. And like some people are asking about like Break, or or what movesets on Kanto Raichu, or was it Alolan is going to be better, or is it going to be worse? I think all of the above. Like there's going to be play for Thunder Punch, Wild Charge, but I have a feeling Break is just going to be a little bit better because it hits for neutral on a lot of stuff, and you gain certain matchups. Like for example, against Legacy Magneton, you gain that matchup. And you gain a little bit extra coverage, whereas in Rainbow, that break coverage wasn't so helpful, because a lot of the typical stuff like Magneton weren't so prominent in that meta.
Mm-hmm.
I think ultimately it's gonna be Kanto Raichu is gonna take the crown for best Raichu this cup. What do you think?
I don't know. I think that's hard to say. It's hard to. I love the Thunder Shock. Being able to get to those charge moves much faster is really nice, especially if you're able to really put shield pressure on with that Wild Charge, which can hit so hard. But I might lean a little bit towards Alolan Raichu just for the slightly better Vigoroth matchup. I think Vigoroth's going to be sort of the center of the meta, and so like any sort of edge. I know it doesn't win, like even shields and everything. But
right.
I mean, I could see Alolan Raichu being better situationally coming into a Vigoroth or something like that, being able to finish it off with, say, like a shield to just, shield that first body slam or something like that.
There's a huge problem with Alolan Raichu, though, and that's all the bug fast moves.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
You want to go into our matchup, Gots, the one? It was kind of like an uncommon one, and I intuitively switched out, but it would have been interesting.
So, I led Alolan Raichu into Vespiquen, and instinctively, because of the part flying, you ran away thinking that it was just going to be a free win for me. But because of Bug Bite on Vespiquen, you win the 0 and 2 shield, and I only win the 1 shield.
Right. So it's just interesting how that psychic typing might help it against stuff like Vigoroth with its counter damage, but it's going to seriously hurt it against all the Bug Bite users, like Forretress, for example. I don't know. I'm leaning towards Kanto Raichu, to be honest. I really like the energy gain Thundershock gives.
I'm actually finishing up the Raichu scrims right now. For the third.
And then someone brought up Magneton versus Magnezone. I have a feeling Gots, you from like a few weeks ago would say Magnezone, but I am very interested in seeing what you have to say now that you have a Legacy Magneton. What are you seeing as far as
there's something
scrims
very
and spreadsheets?
interesting, because Magnezone is scoring high in PvPoke's general sims.
Mm-hmm.
So something's going on there. I haven't seen what it is. It could just be the bulk. It could be the stronger charge moves. I don't know.
Because the stats are strictly better, but the moves are kind of hindering it in that it can't spam just quite as much as Ton, right? Is that basically what I'm getting?
Basically. And then Ton just has the speed.
Yeah.
But interesting enough, both Magneton and Magnezone they hard wall Forretress
Yeah.
So, except zero shields with Fortress having an energy advantage, Earthquake would just nuke.
Yeah, I'm just feeling Fortress this round. I think Fortress is going to be pretty big. Maybe Rock Tomb is a little bit less interesting as it was maybe in Rainbow. But with all the bug types,
inferior,
yeah,
according to sim data.
yeah. Although it's kind of tempting because with all the bug type users, it might come in handy. But it's not like Fortress struggles with bug type users anyway.
Yeah, I think it'll either be Heavy Slam Earthquake or Rock Tomb Earthquake.
Really?
Or Rock Tomb Heavy Slam or Heavy Slam Earthquake. I don't see much for Earthquake Heavy Slam. No, Earthquake Rock Tomb. Bleh.
Right.
And then one
You
question.
think Heavy Slam is the move to have then in this meta? Is kind of what you're saying, right?
It's basically neutral on everything but the
Yeah.
electrics, and it's still going to hit them hard.
Right.
And because Earthquake and Rock Tomb are so slow, that the speed is something that Fortress really lacks.
Speaking of Fortress, one question from Discord was saying, how does Fortress do against like the bug flying types like Vespiquen, Yanma, Yanmega, Scyther, stuff like that?
If they don't pack a flying fast move, Fortress does pretty good against them because it's double resist.
Yeah. I imagine Rock Tomb just nukes them, right? Just like one shot.
Yeah. If you landed Rock Tomb on Vespiquen, it's probably just a KO.
Yeah.
But I think Heavy Slam, because you're always going to get one shield, Heavy Slam is probably just going to do better.
Yeah.
Unless you can land Rock Tomb with no shield.
Also, like a ton of questions coming in the live stream chat. Like this is an open stream, unlike the ones where we do just like strict meta-analysis with the infographic. It's a little bit more formal. These ones are like totally open, so you guys can just get your mic, ask your question, jump in the conversation. You know, as long as you keep it apt for a live stream, we won't mute you. So, one question that came up.
Is Electrode any less trash this time around?
I don't think so. I think it's always going to be trash.
Yeah,
Well, have you seen anything different?
Electric users.
Put it this way: when we do like draft, are you familiar with draft format?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like for those who aren't, like, you know, we each have a round to pick a certain one for our team, and once that's chosen, like if Kanto Raichu is chosen, nobody else can choose it, right? So there's a very diverse set of teams, and the more users in the draft, well then the more slim pickings it becomes in like round 5. Electrode is, in all my drafts, I've never seen it go earlier than, you know, a round 5 pick. And even then, I mean, Polymers, you chose Electrode in one of your draft, right?
Yeah, I did. With my 6th round pick. Yeah, I needed some Skarmory coverage, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's
he's
just
got
garbage.
discharge. I mean, he's got discharge, so I mean, yeah, he can do
Yep.
work, but it's very, very select situation.
And then he's got Tackle as his like curveball legacy, right? So nobody wants that.
RIP to Quartz.
Yeah, Quartz TM'd his legacy Electrode.
Why must we bring
On
that up
stream?
again?
I'm sorry, man.
Oh man, that one hurts, yo. Speaking of draft, though, I guess we can talk about it. Just mention it now that we might be doing a draft type stream from the Go Stadium guys soon. So keep a lookout on that as well.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
for sure. So you guys were talking about the
Discernus.
electric types. Was that where the conversation was going?
Yep.
Yeah, and we were just remembering fondly about your little Tackle.
I was trying to move the
Situation.
conversation
Here's-
somewhere else, though. But yeah.
Here's how irrelevant Electrode is, right? So, like, I'm a pretty hardcore legacy collector as far as PvP goes. I don't care about, like, the baby movesets and stuff. When you TM'd it on stream, I didn't even know that Tackle was legacy on Electrode. Like, I probably knew it at some point, but I definitely forgot it. So, you know, I just don't see it ever being relevant.
Hey, AJ.
Yeah,
You want to see how bad Alolan Raichu is? Pop into the spreadsheet.
in the spreadsheet.
Oh god, it's terrible.
Does it really? I imagine it's just all the bug bite users just delete it, right?
It's a sea of red everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
it's so
very
bad.
satisfying to me because I know Tasarna has to run it. Tasarna, you're hearing this. I know you are.
Like Raichu is doing okay-ish so far, but Alolan Raichu, just no.
You know, we're on the topics of electrics, and you know, I think one that we haven't mentioned so far is Zapdos. I'm not sure if
Yeah.
it'll be meta relevant, but it is interesting. That flying typing, kind of like Alolan Raichu, gives it a little bit of a resistance to the counter from Vigoroth, but kind of like Gots was pointing out, it's not. It also has a resistance to those bug bite users.
Also, it's relying on a pretty bad fast move, right? I think because the legacy version is not possible in PvP below 1500. I think that's right.
Yeah, they were only level 20 because they were a raid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's got Charge Beam, Thunderbolt, and I guess Zap Cannon is what you'd run.
Oh dear.
It's pretty much just Charge Beam, Thunderbolt. But it doesn't lose hard to Vigoroth. I mean, it's, you know, it's not bad. It doesn't win, but
You could probably almost just run a mono Thunderbolt and
Yeah.
not even care because you're taking it for the flying.
I'm seeing sort of like Vigoroth becoming central towards team building. I mean, there may or may not be a Vigoroth in a given team, but you definitely have to counter it. You have to have stuff that like complements its coverage, and then hopefully, I mean, is there anything that totally walls Vigoroth, like both Body Slam, Bulldoze, and will counter for that matter?
not in this meta. The
Right.
best thing that that you have is really either something like a Heracross that can like dish super effective damage, you know, that hits really hard, or something like Venusaur, which is like a TDO, you know, staple that resists that counter damage. But that Body Slam is still going to hit pretty hard.
There was a question about other electrics, like, you know, Alolan Graveler and Golem, and then, you know, like, they asked for Luxray. I'm asking about Manectric. I think all of them are almost always worse options than what we normally end up seeing, right? Because they don't normally get their charge move off. So, like, I think one of them has, like, a fire charge move. But it is not really able to get it off in time.
Manectric has Flame Wheel.
Yeah, like that's the big problem, right? So those ones, I don't see anything so massive shifting around that those ones are certainly going to be better than like your Raichu, Magneton, the Mag family in general. Lantern is always going to be interesting just because it's bulky. And I think Raikou has dropped a lot in stock for this particular meta because Shadow Ball is suddenly not such great, you know, necessarily awesome coverage when you have so many like normal types running around, and it's still frail.
I think you pointed this out in some of our, you know, pre-stream discussion that similar to how Magneton doesn't really have a true wall in this meta, which might give it a little more space to, you know, just fire off those magnet bombs or discharges at will. I think the same kind of applies to the Alolan Golem Graveler duo, because you know they also kind of get walled by ground, but there aren't really any, you know, dominant ground types in this meta. So I think it's definitely something to keep in mind. Similar to Magneton, it's gonna take super effective damage from that counter from Vigoroth, but it'll resist the Body Slam at least. And obviously the Bulldoze will be super effective, but that's going to take a little longer to charge. And so, you know, it's not a great matchup, but go ahead.
right out the gate, both the Grav and Golem, they look really strong. Partially because of the large block of bugs, and they beat a decent chunk of the other electrics. They lose to Magneton, Lantern, and the mirror match, basically. And then Grass. Grass just shreds them.
Mm-hmm.
But Grass shreds all the electrics. The only one that ever has a chance is Magneton, basically. Zapdos might, but I doubt it. But then going into the normals, it looks like they're pretty on par with the other electric types. So depending on how strong the bugs get, especially the 2 times week to rock bugs, rock throw from Graveler and Golem can just chunk them.
Yeah, so I guess based off of that, it's almost like if the meta leans more heavily towards grass, maybe Magneton, rises with the dominant electric, but if it leans more heavily towards bug, maybe that leans back towards Alolan, Golem, and Graveler.
Yeah, doesn't Lantern wall off the Gravelers pretty hard though?
Yeah.
Lantern,
it does.
Magneton, and the mirror match are basically the electrics that beat Gravs. But other than that, they beat all bugs except for Heracross and Forretress, and they beat all of the electrics except the aforementioned ones.
Numa Cargo.
Yeah, they get torn apart by grass completely, and Vigoroth just shreds a new one.
Not totally related, but I guess normals related if we're going into that topic. One question that came up on Discord was about like Pidgeot. Now, what move sets on Pidgeot? I mean, it has 2 legacy moves in Wing Attack and Air Cutter. As far as I know, Air Cutter is pretty bad, both in like PvP and raids. But Wing Attack is interesting in that it's a little bit more energy gain than, for example, Air Slash. And it has, I guess, Aerial Ace and Brave Bird. So it would be like a full flying set, I think, is probably what you're going to want on Pidgeot, right? Am I missing something? Do you want Steel Wing instead?
No, I don't think you want Steel Wing. But I think the problem with Pidgeot is it really doesn't outclass Noctowl or even Staraptor. Staraptor is showing some interesting promise so far because it's got the fighting, flying, and fire charge moves to go with.
Yeah, I think Noctowl is the one to go with.
More than likely.
Can I come in real quick? So, have we
Yeah.
moved away from the electric types already? Because we do have a question from Dark Matter Wolf. See you in chat there.
Yeah.
About Hidden Power Luxray. So, before we hopped up from the electric type, I guess, if we want to just address that electric type. And also,
Sure,
normally we do have like a nice little icon that shows who is talking on the right. I think for anyone who's not familiar, we do have Guts joining in on chat as well. Yeah, so go ahead, guys. You guys want to talk about Hidden Power Luxray and what options maybe to consider?
Hidden Power has always been the bane of the Discord, so to speak, because somebody always brings it up. Like, it wins these 2 matchups, but it loses so much else. So it'll really depend on what becomes the meta-centric, what becomes the big 3, the big 4, like Kingdoms, Core 4, and whatnot, and then how well the Hidden Power can counter that.
Hidden Power just isn't that good of a move in general, though.
Where is that coming from?
Wait, what happened?
Yeah, what's
Can you
up?
guys hear that?
Hear what?
Here,
Tristan? Or Mason or Valor Ash eating?
Never mind.
I heard Tristan. What were you saying again, Tristan?
Yeah, we hear you.
I was just saying that Hidden Power is a bad move in general.
Oh, yeah.
And I've also
You
just
know-
been told that you can't even get Luxray below 1500 anyway, so that question kind of doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
So
The thing about Hidden Power is it's not hidden because it's so good and like it's like something you need to uncover. It's hidden because it's awful and it shouldn't see the light of day.
So you can actually get Luxray below 1500. It's just incredibly hard.
oh, you're just gonna
Like,
trade till it gets really bad IVs, huh?
Yeah, so like a level 20, like with straight fives, is 1498.
Can't you hatch one with a low level account and trade it? That would be one
Yeah.
way.
But with all the XP gain, that is extremely hard to do. You
Right.
basically have to not play the game and just hatch eggs. And even
Right.
then, you're on a limited top.
Just start making accounts until you hatch one.
I
Yeah,
briefly did
technically,
some Lux
if-
Raid sims earlier, and it doesn't really do well with even with Hidden Power Fire against Fortress.
That's
Yeah,
sad.
it's hidden power is a terrible move. Unfortunately, it needs better energy, or just it needs to chunk like Razor.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of hidden power. And to be honest, that's probably a good thing because then we would have to have like 18 of everything that had hidden power. And that would be a huge burden on storage.
I legit have every single hidden power togetic, just in case.
Just in case. Yeah.
that's impressive.
When next Saturday, because I was a GoFest Saturday attendee, and we got rained out. I'm hunting down. I'm hoping it's not windy or cloudy, so I can hunt down low-level Togetics to get every single hidden power Togekiss, just in case.
Well, hopefully for everyone's sake, that collection ends up being a huge burden and it's completely useless to you.
You know what? I'll take it because Togekiss is like one of my favorites, anyways. So
Yeah.
whatever.
Do you actually have a fair? Is there a fairy hidden power? I thought that one did exist.
No,
Nope.
that's
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Fairy Hidden Power would actually be really cool, both for the mainline games and for Pogo. But they'd have to fix Hidden Power in Pogo first to make it actually useful.
Yeah. Brady on Discord asked about Linoone. I mean, I honestly just don't see Linoone getting a lot of play here. There's just, I don't know. Grass isn't necessarily like a great offensive typing here. And it worked really well as a tech in the champions meta because it offered like really good grass and electric coverage while not being weak to, like ghosts and other kinds of stuff. But here with Vigoroth being so popular and so many bug types around, I just don't see how both of it, Shadow Claw and grass not being that great, and Thunder is kind of like it takes a while to charge up to it.
Yeah, so I mean, I love Linoone because actually I took it in like my first draft that I did, and it was just, I mean, it performed awesomely. So, but one thing that definitely can be a problem for Linoone is it gets walled by grass with only grass and electric charge moves. And another advantage that it had in the Worlds meta was that, it could hit Azu as well as the Flyers, Lantern, and then also the Mud Boys with that Grass Knot coverage. And then was also, a solid counter to some of the ghost types. And so it just doesn't have that sort of matchup coverage here, I think, as much.
Yeah. But speaking of like grass types, I mean, there's some pretty decent grass types here. I think while Venusaur was like super prevalent in Rainbow, I could see Meganium getting a little bit more play here just because of that earthquake coverage helps perhaps a little bit more. Well, in some situations, I guess, than, Sludge Bomb does. It's like a hit or miss, right? You want to build your team so that you take the one that offers best coverage.
So I'm gonna make Mason extremely happy.
Yeah.
Lantern does not look good.
Oh. Sad face.
I mean, you lose to Beedrill and Venomoth. You lose to Scyther with Fury Cut. You tie Scissor. You can lose to Forretress, but I think that's a skewed result because it wants to Hydro Pump in that one. You lose to Heracross.
This is all Water Gun, right?
Yeah, it's all Water Gun. You lose to Raichu. You beat
Charge Beam does better?
No, not really. It's about equal,
No.
but there's extra ties. You do beat most of the other electrics, save for Raichu.
Yeah.
Water Gun takes out Magneton's health, and it's super effective on Graveler, Golem. You beat Zapdos easily. You can lose to Pachirisu and Minun if you land Hydro Pump. So I don't know if that, or if you don't land Hydro Pump, but I don't know if Double Thunderbolt is enough. I'll have to look into that because the scrims are sometimes a little funky. And then you lose to Alolan Raticate. Don't know how prevalent that is. And all grass just destroys you.
That's too sad that I happen to pick Lantern as my profile picture on Twitter, and then it just gets decimated like that.
Well, it was
Hopefully.
good in Rainbow.
Fingers
and
crossed.
It's still good in Great League. So,
Yeah, no, Lantern's pretty fun.
but since Alolan, Golem, and Graveler are doing so well, Lantern can be like this nice little niche anti-meta pick.
Mm-hmm.
But you're really terrified of Beedrill. You're not happy with Scyther, and those look to be very strong picks.
Yeah.
But you do beat the Air Slash Scyther variant. I don't know.
So,
that one does look better than the Fury.
Is that Tiwas?
Yeah, can we jump back to the grass for a minute?
Yeah.
So do you guys see any grass besides Venusaur being good? The thing is, Venusaur takes neutral from Bug, where like Meganium is weak to it. And Venusaur has that poison coverage for the other grass types.
Meganium does better versus Forretress, believe it or not. Actually.
Yeah.
Right, because Meganium has the Earthquake. That's true.
Yeah.
And even though
Quad Frenzy Plant is better because you're just bulkier, even though you're taking super effective damage.
Right.
You can get a 4th Frenzy Plant off.
Exactly. So like Meganium, while it might have that weakness to Bug that Venusaur has a neutral, Venusaur is a lot more frail than Meganium is. So you kind of get that bulk is more artificial through its typing, so it tends to even it out a little bit. It's still true that it does better and that, with the Bug neutral damage, but it kind of, the bulk on Meganium compensates it a little bit.
Yeah, there could be a place for Razor Leafs too here, because I don't see the charge moves being very strong. So we might see Victory Bell Blossom come back up.
What about Bayleaf?
I don't know about grass. I don't know.
Yeah, Bayleaf has ancient power.
Yeah.
So I will say, like the grass poisons too, they have a slightly better Vigoroth matchup, or they can. The Razor Leaf damage definitely helps, and then Meganium, like taking neutral counter, is like just enough to where it barely loses in the no shield, whereas Venusaur can win. So that might be an important difference. But I think I agree that Meganium could definitely see some play.
I guess kind of what I see is the poison subtyping helps it resist counter, take neutral from Bug, and double resist other grass types while having that Sludge Bomb to hit back.
Right. Venusaur is always going to be the king of the grass versus other grass. Like it's going to have that Toxicroak label of it's the grass type that beats all other grass types. It's just how relevant is that going to be here?
I think something else to look into is if someone ends up bringing confusion users against poison types, which would make Meganium a little better in this cup. I guess someone bringing confusion users just against some of the fighting types, even because they might be fairly prevalent, unless.
Well, thankfully,
but the problem with confusion, users is that we're saying Forretress is going to be good, and we're saying Magneton is going to be good.
Yep.
Right.
And I mean, even the two like fighting types in this meta, Heracross and Breloom, those have a double weakness to flying.
Yeah, that's definitely going to keep those two pretty much almost non-existent because of Air Slash, Scyther, and Wing Attack from Noctowl, even Masquerain. I know it's kind of a joke scrim we did, but
I'm having PTSD.
Oh, I know.
And
I swept
Masquerade.
AJ's team with Masquerade. I got it on video. I'll post it.
Yeah, do that.
And the other thing is, what confusion users are there? There's what Executor and Execute, Celebi,
Venomoth.
Giraffe Rig, and Venomoth, I guess.
Venomoth.
Yeah.
Venomoth
But,
does
like-
really well so far.
Right, so maybe Venomoth's the pick, but like the
Is
problem
that
with
what-
Executor and Execute is they have that double weakness to bug, which is pretty
True.
scary here.
No,
Yeah,
is that-
Venomoth.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just simming Venomoth, and it beats Vigoroth in the 0 and the 2 shield, which might be kind of interesting, and it ties in the 1 shield.
Hmm.
I don't know how many people are going to bring it, but it might give some interesting coverage.
Yeah. That Poison Fang spam, can come out pretty quickly too.
Yeah, it surprised me once as Charizard. I thought I just had an easy win and just constant Poison Fangs and confusion damage.
Yeah.
That wasn't a clean fight at all.
If Bug Bite becomes relevant on Venomoth, I'm gonna be so happy because I'll get to laugh. Do you guys remember this?
Yeah, who was that
From
again?
Twilight.
I remember. I remember.
Charizard from Australia back in Twilight TM'd his legacy Bug Bite Poison Fang to Confusion Poison Fang, and I said that I will go visit him and make fun of him if it becomes relevant, and so
Well,
I haven't
unfortunately,
forgotten.
to your dismay, Bug Bite
Yeah.
does screw worse than Confusion.
Yeah, I agree. For here, yeah, maybe one day.
Actually, I have never seen
think-
Bug Bite on the 2 legacy mons that I keep looking at, Beedrill and Venomoth,
Mhm.
ever do better than the current move they have.
I agree. Yeah, which is a healthy thing for the metas and stuff.
It is really
It-
good, but I have a Bug Bite Beedrill, and damn it, I want to use it.
Yep, I agree. Yep, same. What about Carnivine? Someone asked about it. It's got like Crunch and Bite, I think. It's got some interesting moves.
It's got Vine Whip, Power Whip, Crunch. That's certainly a usable moveset.
Yeah.
It's a little attack weighted, though.
I don't see how Crunch would
Which-
help it too much though here,
No,
particularly
it's
here.
immune to damage, though, which is good. So, Vigoroth just destroys it, so...
That's not very nice. Oh, I
No.
think Noah's here.
You're a little close to a second Power Whip with a Crunch Bait. So, I mean, with some energy advantage, you could pull off a win versus Vigoroth, but Body Slam.
Yeah.
Body Slam's a big...
I guess like what do we see the role of grass types being in this meta?
Neutral
think
damage.
Anti-electric.
Yeah.
Big anti-electric. Big damage on normals with Razor Leaf.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't
Like
know.
me.
Yeah, and go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I don't know if a grass can't beat Vigoroth, I don't know how useful it is and gonna end up being. Just because of how prevalent like flying and bug are gonna be, it takes away a lot of the matches if it can't beat Vigoroth either.
Right, which is why I think you need that poison subtyping.
Or
Right, like-
faster, stronger moves or something like that. Like, if
Yeah.
it had Razor Leaf, it could potentially work because Crunch isn't terrible on energy cost.
Right
And
now,
that
I was
is
just talking
probably-
about like grass types in general. Like, no, I'm not Carnivine specific, but like grass types in general. Like, what are you looking for them to do?
Yeah, I mean,
And, like,
to that point, probably Breloom will be a premier sort of grass pick in that it is able to take care of Vigoroth. And then I guess like it still has that high counter damage and maybe Sludge Bomb or Grass Knot or whatever else you end up running with it.
Well, and I
And
guess
I
the
guess you
one
can't-
interesting thing about Breloom is it should have a better Forretress matchup than any of the other grass types.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, grass is able to, to beat Vigoroth. Like Razor Leafers do a really good job. Meganium with a shield, it just needs to land like one Frenzy Plant. And so some of the grasses, I mean, they might be, some of the better options against Vigoroth. Them, and as well as the 2 counter users we mentioned, and then possibly some of the bug flying types, which we haven't gotten to yet.
Apparently, Vigoroth beats Breloom if Breloom doesn't have a shield, though.
Yep.
Yeah, when I was looking at what sims best against like Vigoroth, I forget if I gave it a shield disadvantage or not, but it was basically like bug and grass types. Like that was it. And there were some weird ones here and there, but that was the gist of it.
So if it has Seed Bomb, I think it can barely beat Vigoroth.
Yeah, I think you'd be running Seed Bomb, and then you'd be running either Dynamic Punch or what else does it have?
Sludge Bomb.
Yeah, probably Dynamic Punch or Sludge Bomb.
Yeah,
I'd rather
it
take
really
Sludge
does.
Bomb for the coverage over Dynamic Punch because you have counter.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yep.
But yeah, I think for most cases, Seed Bomb's going to be better than the Legacy Grass Knot just because it's faster and Breloom's so frail.
Yeah, I think that's the key.
BSob31 says Grass Knot equals the worst event legacy move ever. Shots fired at Breloom. I don't know.
It put Breloom as #1 grass for about 2 weeks, and then they dropped Grass Knot on Roserade and just ruined it. Bang.
Which was also weird because, like, why'd they make Breloom have a event Grass Knot and then Roserade just gets it forever? That just seemed weird.
I have a theory, but my idea is like that was the first time they were just doing like a common. Well, I guess Gengar came before it, right? In raids and stuff.
Yeah.
But this one was like a little bit less special in that like it was there for a week. So I think they were just like testing it out, and that was like the first time they were doing really anything like that. We were all remember when we got that news, we were like, well, I guess this opens the door for pretty much anything potentially being a fear of evolving, you know?
Yeah.
Going back to Breloom,
So I think there's, yeah.
One argument to carry Dynamic Punch as one of the charge moves is it has a better matchup with Forretress.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I guess it's really depending on what you're really using the Breloom for.
Yep.
But
Dynamic Punch has always been like a nice like Ochko on things or late game, but it's not exactly quick. So you can't usually get 2 of them off in a match with a one shield situation.
Yeah, definitely not with Breloom either.
Yeah, and certainly not if somebody comes in with a wing attack or air slash. You just die.
All right, and then we have a question from Bella about Scyther versus Caesar.
I don't think the premise of that question is totally right, because I think it would be Scissor versus Forretress, right? More than versus its counterpart. And then maybe Scyther competes more against like Vespiquen and other bug flying types. Am I wrong there?
No, yeah, I agree with that.
Scyther maybe compared to Masquerain, Vespiquen. I think those are the 2 or the 3 big.
Well, and then Yanma and Yanmega.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. With that rock coverage.
Yeah, I haven't got to them yet.
Oh God.
I'm done with.
Yanma being a level 40 perfect. It's expensive.
Yeah, I'm really hoping Yanmega does better than Yanma. Just like across the board, so I don't have to power one up.
I don't think so. I gotta double check the moves, but I'm pretty sure
they have mostly the same moves.
Yeah. Aerial Ace, Silver Wind, Ancient Power. And then Yon Mega, well, Bug Buzz. Yeah, most of the same.
It's basically just like Silver Wind for Yanma, because they both
Yeah.
have Aerial Ace and Ancient Power and Wing Attack. So the
And
only
what was-
question is if
Yeah.
Silver Wind would give better coverage, basically.
And
Oh, wait, no,
also
they both
that. What?
Wait, one sec. I was looking at. Yeah, it's basically if Silver Wind would be good coverage or not.
And Yanma has the advantage, just like every time it uses a charge move, there's a chance that it gets boosted. And well, you guys, I've been on the receiving end today of a boosted Masquerade, and it wasn't fun.
No, it also didn't help that you brought an entire team weak to bug flying.
Right. Yeah.
blaming it on the power up, but
And then the stats between the two are like kind of different too, though. I'm just plugging in like the default PV poke, and Yon Mega has like 7 or 8 higher attack, and like 8 higher defense, but like 19 less hit points.
Yeah, Yon Mega is more attack weighted, so it's gonna be less defensive over Yanma.
Well,
And it
Yon
doesn't
Mega
really
actually has a higher defense stat too.
Right, but in the actual, what happened was when it powered up, it didn't gain much HP. It just gained some defense stats and attack stats.
Yeah.
So it's going to lose a lot of HP in the CP calculation.
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
actually
so
kind of sounds like it's more useful then, right? Am I wrong in that?
19 HP is a lot. That's several fast moves that you have to make up for with defense. Typically, you're not going to take more than 19 fast moves. So, like 1 or 2, not a big deal. 5 or 10, decent. Once you start getting over the 10, HP matters a lot. Definitely as much as.
I guess just chase those 15 HP Yan Megas then.
You might have to.
But also the defense might also make up for that too. If it hits a break point or something. Or bulk point.
Yeah, the IV doesn't necessarily matter, because if you power it up and it has the actual HP value, then it'll, it's just kind of like a moving goalpost, right? It's the relationship between IVs that matter.
Right,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is, like, over Yanma, where Yanma has 19 more HP,
Mm-hmm.
that's basically like having better defense.
Right,
Because
for
if
sure.
If you take 10 extra damage from fast attacks one at a time, 10 HP makes a difference. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then someone else was asking how Ninjask looks.
It kind of looks like one of those
Probably-
bugs, those seasonal bugs, right? That shed.
Cicadas.
Yeah, those ones.
I believe it's supposed to be a cicada. Yeah.
Yeah. There's your question answered.
Gods, have
I
you
think-
send it?
Ninjask is probably going to be a worse Masquerade, Scyther, Vespiquen.
It does have Shadow Ball though, which is kind of interesting.
Right, but we have normal types.
It's true.
We have a normal Psychic. Okay, that could be a thing.
I mean, it's still resisted though.
I'm gonna be happy if Giraffaric goes in the trash can this month, because its neck will be kind of sticking out, and I can put more space for other trash picks. It's gonna be beautiful.
Right next to Vespiquen.
Oh, how dare you!
The thing about Ninjask too is it doesn't have a flying fast move, which I think makes it a lot worse for a bug flying type.
Right, but it does have Fury Cutter, which has good energy gain.
Yeah, I mean, it can beat Vigoroth, like in 0 and 1. So I think it's really just how it stacks up. to the other bug flying types. That's the big thing, and that's where, like Noah was saying, maybe having that flying fast move is the edge. So a Masquerain could easily beat, say, Ninjask head to head because of the air slash damage.
Yeah, like I'm thinking that bug fast moves might not be the greatest. Like they'll hit grass, but so will the flying ones. And there's not going to be any psychics maybe at all, really. So I don't know if like bug bite on Forretress is kind of just necessary. But besides that, I don't know if there's really going to be a need for another one.
Right, that's fair.
Unless they're stuck with it, like Vespiquen, because Vespiquen still sims very well with me.
I mean, the only consideration for bug fast moves is, I believe, bug hits electric for neutral while flying is resisted.
Yep,
that's true.
And it hits rock for neutral if grabs, whereas flying would be double resisted on a grab and a gold.
Speaking of rock, Gods, have you looked at Cradle yet?
It is on the sheet, but it's at the end with all the grass.
That's
I'm
fair.
at Victory Bell right now. I got Meganium, Blossom, Ludicolo, just because. Shiftry, because Breloom, Cradle.
Also,
So
kind of oddball, but what do you guys think of Alolan Raticate?
Yeah.
Counter,
to tell
counter's gonna crush it. Venusaur, I imagine, beats it. So does Bug.
My thing is, like, if you're gonna
Venusaur
bring
does
something
not
that's
eradicate.
gets deleted by Vigoroth, then what does it do really, really well, right?
Right.
I don't see what it would do.
I
That's
think
awesome.
Dark's pretty much out. Like I don't really see a use for any Dark move at all in this, unless I'm wrong here. But
Eradicate would get in on its bulk.
Yeah, I was
because it
just
is a
thinking for
very
the
bulky
bulk.
Bulk and neutral, right? Like generally.
Yeah. And it's hard to
neutral
tell
damage.
because all I have Eradicate data is the horizontal. It's really hard to just scroll through and see it. I mean, I can go and run Eradicate really quick if you guys are really, really interested in seeing.
No,
I'm putting in a multi-battle, and some of the things that score really high are like Manectric, Spinda, Licky, high tier picks like Slacking, Wigglytuff, Cacturn, the meta,
right?
Basically.
But it beats all of those really hard, right? AJ?
Yes.
So I mean that's critical.
So, you know what his number one opponent is? Celebi, had an 873 score. So I just think you guys are wrong. Raticate's going to be a staple to any competitive team.
I mean, if you can't beat Spinda, what are you gonna do?
You know what else it beats? Masquerain. So how you like them apples, Scots?
Hey, you should have brought one.
I should have. I think I did the match before.
You did, and it got slaughtered by Air Slash.
Something.
Scyther?
Something mundane.
Or Beedrill. No, Beedrill. Beedrill just tortoise.
Yeah. Just played around with it before eating it.
Yeah, just X scissor after X scissor after X scissor. It was not pretty.
Conversely, here's some of the picks that really, it does really poorly against in the one shield: Vigoroth, Breloom, Heracross, Vespiquen, Scyther, Sceptile, Beedrill. These are all scores less than 300. Gradilli.
Yeah, nobody's gonna pick those. Those
Forretress. Yeah.
Yeah, Forretress.
I mean, Paulie, all those picks are like garbage can picks, so I don't know why we're bothering.
I mean, I'd be concerned about losing so hard to Miltank, but yeah, Alolan Raticate. Not holding my breath for that. What about Ludicolo, you guys? I remember like early in the stream, someone was asking about Ludicolo.
I am literally one scrim away from it. Give me a second.
Oh. Well, Ludicolo's rocking Razor Leaf. It's got the dual water grass typing, and then it's got some interesting coverage with, I think it's like Ice Beam. And,
Yeah, it's got Blizzard, Ice Beam, Hydro Pump, and Solar Beam.
Yeah.
And it can also run Bubble if you want better energy generation. But
Bubble is worse than Razor Leaf.
Well, there you go. I just don't think the water subtyping is doing it any favors here.
In a positive shield baiting situation, Ludicolo gets 17 of 28 wins.
Because with the water subtyping, it's taking neutral from grass and electric now.
Yeah, and it doesn't do much worse in negative shield baiting situations, so there is that. It's just going to Razor Leaf things. I don't see Ludicolo doing anything, especially when Victory Bell exists, and potentially Blossom for the non-poisoned.
Yeah. It's another one that it gets hit hard by bug and flying, and yeah, like you said, takes neutral now from electric and grass. So I don't really know where it fit. It barely beats Vigoroth, so and it doesn't in the zero shields, I don't think.
Yeah, it looks like Victory Bell might just be maybe the primary grass of this cup because of the poison typing and the Razor Leaf.
Hey, Gots, what do you think about Snowbama?
Dude, Powder Snow, you win every tournament. And
what do you guys?
You will have the best out of it. If you don't like me, I will be banned from the server because I will not. No.
Yeah, he really doesn't like it. It's like that and snow, like dirty snow. Those are his two weaknesses.
I love snow, but not yellow snow.
Right.
Not brown snow.
What do you guys think about the bans though? Like the Burmy family and Tropius? Like I know a lot of people were kind of pumped to use Burmy. I mean, not Wormadam.
So angry about the Burmy family getting banned.
Was it fair? Was it fair to ban? Like I'm looking at Tropius. And
I think Tropius is fair.
Yeah,
Tropius is pretty fair.
It seems like it's more of an accessibility thing, right? Than an overpower thing. Like it's just harder to get.
I think Tropius is pretty dang strong here.
Oh.
Yeah, with Air Slash Tropius would have definitely been
would decimate the meta.
Yeah, it would have been dominant.
Air
here.
Slash.
Air Slash. Yeah, because then
interesting.
Air Slash Tropius beats all other grasses. It even beats Venusaur.
But I mean,
and it's also gonna beat.
You still have Magneton, Noctowl, Forretress still beats it. You know, so
Forretress beats Air Slash.
That's what I just simmed.
So about Wormadam Trash, which is probably the only Wormadam that's ever going to see play because of the bug steel typing, it gets a whopping 32 to 11 in a neutral shield bait situation. So both people win the bait.
How does that compare to Forretress?
$28 to 17.
Oh, that's actually kind of
Ironhead and Bug Buzz or Psybeam are just really strong when paired with Bug Bite. Even the Confusion doesn't do bad, but Bug Bite just seemed to sim better. I don't know if it's missing matchups, like matchups flip, and Confusion gets more critical matchups. I don't know, but yeah.
Psybeam's a really interesting charge move there.
So that could just be they could have done the sims. They could have done their homework this time around and realized, oh, Wormadam Trash kind of beats the entire thing.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like if you look at, so I was simming some of this earlier today, and like if you look at Wormadam Trash, no shields with Confusion, Iron Head, and Bug Buzz. I mean, that's a pretty big spread there. It beats like 86% of the meta.
I don't know. I don't see Confusion being like that big of a thing here, though. Big of a move.
It's just a strong neutral, and Wormadam is extremely tanky. Like, it is basically a perfect PvP mon. It's just its charge moves lack coverage for the most part.
It's just really ugly. That's the downside.
Yeah, pretty much. I ain't even gonna argue this one.
Right. I mean, whoever designed that was just, jeez, just taking a break or something.
Which version are you talking about? Like the plant one?
All of them.
All of them.
Everyone, every single one. They're awful. Look at it. It's got like a long nose. His ears are also kind of like arms. And one of them is literally called Trash, as is like the sub name. It's not good. It's not good.
Well, wait till you see what Gen 5 is going to bring. But before we go there, we do have a question about Victory Bell and Gen 5, right? Victory Bell and Weeping Bell. But before we go there, apparently Yokohama tickets are currently live. If anyone's interested, make sure to go in the lottery in your in-game to get a chance to go to Japan. But yeah, there's a question here about Legacy Razor Leaf Weeping Bell versus Victory Bell. If you guys have any thoughts on that.
I have not simmed any Weeping Bell, but I can run it real quick because I just finished Belost.
There's only a few things that like beat or tie Vigoroth at the 0 to 1 shield disadvantage, and one of those is Weeping Bell.
But is the Victory Bell another one? Really?
Not Victory Bell.
Is it running? Wait,
it's
what,
like really close.
Wait, is Weeping Bell running Power Whip or Seed Bomb?
It was running. I gotta pull it up again.
Seed Bomb?
Weeping Bell would have a better defensive spread because I know Weeping Bell itself, like a lot of those second stage evos in the first gen, were very defensive compared to their final stage.
I think it's all Razor Leaf.
So it looks like Weeping Bell has 9 more HP, 10 less defense, and like 4 more attack.
Doesn't even get to a charge move before Vigoroth dies.
Yep. It's all Razor Leaf.
Right.
It's all in the Razor
Yeah.
Leaf. But Victory Bell can't do that either.
No. Victory Bell, like, at its, we're talking about shield disadvantage. So, shield disadvantage, Victory Bell just loses. And I can double check this, but I'm pretty sure.
I wonder, did you sim only Razor Leaf?
Only, well, it doesn't matter because it never gets to a charge move. Oh, you mean for Victory Bell?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
I just simmed it.
Doing enough damage, I don't think.
It's like, it's a difference of 10 HP, but Vigoroth still wins.
It's the HP difference, is what it looks like.
It's like Vigoroth beats it with 21 HP when it does one charge move, and it beats it with 11 HP when it doesn't, when it just spams Razor Leaf. So.
That extra bulk just seems to help Weeping Bell then.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still a tie, so it's not like, oh my god, it's awesome, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And you have the acid spray threat.
People are asking about Delcatty. People being Tisarna, I want to clarify.
So Delcatty, I know like
it's great. It's awesome. Bring it.
Fast moves.
Definitely bring it.
It's got Wild Charge, which is kind of interesting. Feint Attack is probably the fast move, and then it has, like I said, Wild Charge or Play Rough or Disarming Voice, or the other two.
Yeah.
I'm like super familiar with all of these like really weird normal types because of draft format. Because I took Linoone in my first draft, and so I was just doing like a deep dive into like Per Ugly and Delcatty and like looking for weird coverages.
Legit Per Ugly is on the sheet because
Yeah.
I'm curious.
What's Perugly's typing even? It's normal, dark, or something?
Normal.
Just normal.
It's just normal.
Just normal? Oh. Someone's excited.
Yeah, so Per Ugly's moveset is Shadow Claw or Scratch, and then Thunder, Play Rough, Aerial Ace.
Yeah, Play Rough Aerial Ace seems really strong in this meta, and Shadow Claw is a really great move.
What is the reasoning for it to get aerially?
Because it aces from the air, like all cats do. I guess.
I
There were
like
some
some of these.
strange decisions in Gen 4 and 5, okay?
Yeah.
Just ignore them.
I like it. I like throwing these curveballs in there. It's fun.
Yeah, I almost took it in my last draft for the flying coverage, as weird as that sounds.
Man,
What do you use it in this cup for, though?
I also just think that Shadow Claw in a normal type cup can turn into a liability.
Yeah.
It's 50k too.
It also doesn't even beat Meganium with Aerial Ace and Shadow Claw.
Speaking of Aerial Ace, what do you guys think about Sceptile?
Bad.
Also, who's tapping?
Oh, I don't see. So, Sceptile, it's been really frail, but it has that energy gain with that, I guess, Fury Cutter. But Fury Cutter, Leaf Blade, Aerial Ace should be pretty interesting. Does it beat Vigoroth though, with how frail it is? That would be my first question.
Not on one shield.
Right. So that's a big deal. One shield being the most popular, probably.
I'm guessing it doesn't beat Forretress
What?
or Scyther.
Right. It does have Earthquake, I guess. I don't know if that could ever be useful.
But what would you get rid of? Leaf Blade or Aerial Ace for the Earthquake?
Right. That's what I mean. You can't.
Alright,
It
so
seems like
question.
it's. Yeah.
If Sceptile can't beat Vigoroth, can Farfetch?
Far-fetched. Not
No,
when
I-
it's not being chosen because it's not very good, right?
It's got
Or
the
is
exact
Farfetch
same
really
moveset-
good?
It's got the exact same moveset as
Farfetch'd has a terrible Vigoroth matchup. Its best battle rating and even shields is a 356 in the 2 shield.
Oof.
Good. We've nipped that one in the butt.
But it wins barely at, shield advantage. How about that, you guys?
At a 1
565
to
score.
but
It
at a
beats
1
it.
to 0 at a 1 to 0 shield advantage, it still loses with a 447.
Yep, you're right. It's pretty bad.
I don't
2
think
shields to 0, it doesn't even do great. It wins with 2 HP, 23 HP. So, yeah, not
I
fun.
don't think no normal flyers beat Vigoroth, right? Is that correct?
No.
Does Noctowl?
No.
Nope.
It ties in the 2, but that's it.
Hmm.
Let's see. Hold on.
Yeah.
Pidgeot with Hurricane beats it in 0.
That's
Weird.
With
Wing attack Hurricane. Yeah, Wing attack Hurricane.
I think the normal flyers are going to be more to handle the
grass and
other
bug.
fighting types. Yeah, like the other
Well,
fighting types, like
Yeah.
Yeah, but why would you
That's-
take a normal flyer
Yeah.
over a bug flyer?
because it can beat the bug flyer.
But the bug flyers can beat the bug flyers with flying fast moves. Air Slash Scissor
well,
matches up extremely well against all the other bug flying.
right, but like
Same with Master.
Noctowl has Sky Attack, which is a really good move.
True. But if it can't beat Vigoroth, it seems like a really big just...
Yeah, you're right.
Especially because electric is going to be big.
Speaking of electric, we haven't talked about the secret gem that is Drill Run Firo.
Oh dear God.
Alright guys, well I'm done for the night.
And AJ, yeah. and you guys know we're gonna get questions about that on
Drill Run
discussion
Drill
channel.
Drill Run Firo. Oh dear. It's not that Firo is really bad, I suppose. Oh, never mind. It is really bad.
Peck.
I just know that we're gonna get questions about it, and people are gonna be like, "Oh, it has Drill Run to cover the electric weakness."
Yeah, if you can get there.
AJ, I nominate Firo for the
this from
trash
Murkrow?
bin.
Oh, you know what's an interesting one? Is a Porygon, like the Porygon family, because they're so glassy.
We just have a question
And
about
they
Porygon actually. Both
Yeah,
on
that's
YouTube
what
and
reminded.
Twitch. Yeah, both asking
Yeah.
about the HP fire.
Well,
Hidden
not so much for
power
the
again.
Yeah, not so much for the hidden power, because we've kind of gone over how hidden power is a really bad move, and it's got bad energy gain and like pretty bad damage as well. So it's more like legacy quick attack, I think, on Porygon. And I want to say Porygon Z has something interesting too.
Yeah, it also has Legacy Discharge, which is kind of
Yes. Yeah. So like normal Porygon is kind of interesting. I don't know if it's gonna be like amazing.
I mean, the one argument for Porygon with the hidden power is that fire type hidden power can do a number on like Magneton and Forretress that think they're going to be safe from fast moves. I don't think it's worth it to run it, but that's like the very niche role that you could maybe try to argue a basis for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I remember
Ironically
screaming
enough-
back in Tempest, and I had a friend that had a fire hidden power Togekiss, I think it was, and I remember like switching in my Magneton and being like, "Oh, this will be easy," and then the fire hidden power like almost murdering.
Porygon has a lot of legacy moves. That's what I'm realizing. So Discharge, Psybeam, Signal Beam.
Mm-hmm.
They're all legacy.
Those
So
are
I
all
guess
the
yeah.
lowest energy cost too. Like if you look at 2 and Porygon Z, they don't have those legacy like low energy cost charge moves.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess Porygon would be kind of like a curveball choice, but I don't think any of the moves do like a number on like Vigoroth. So like the stuff that you would intuitively use against it probably would still be fine.
Yeah. Kind of jumping over Guts. Have you looked at a Alolan Executor yet?
It's at the end of the sheet because it was brought up really late. But I
Right.
did like a quick skim. And
Probably not great.
no, it doesn't have the best charge moves. And Dragon Tail, although it's manageable, really needs like high bulk or really good charge moves to work.
Right. I just thought it would be an interesting one just because of the unique typing. But I didn't have like high hopes for it or anything.
Yeah, I ran a double bait sim with it and just wasn't too very happy.
So what are you guys thinking is going to be like the most critical core of 2 to be countering? Like last month, Venusaur Quagsire did a pretty good job.
Right away, Fort and Vigoroth,
Mhm.
and then 1 Bug Flyer with Air Slash or Wing Attack, whatever they get, because they beat both. Like Air Slash Scyther beats Forretress and Vigoroth.
Yeah.
Right.
I think even a flyer with Vigoroth would be pretty strong too, because most of Vigoroth's counters are really weak to flying.
Right.
Yeah, like Noctowl can work as a
Yep.
nice Vigoroth.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing about Vigoroth is it pretty much beats every electric. So, that's pretty good. Pretty good pairing there. I think the thing that I like maybe a little bit more about Forretress Vigoroth, and you can kind of see this a little bit in Gotz's sheet, is that Forretress and Vigoroth don't lose really hard to very much in the meta, whereas Noctowl can lose hard to some of the electrics, for example, like Magneton.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. To me, like, if I had to pick a core 4 right now, it would be the Fortress of Vigoroth, Bug Flyer, and a Magneton.
Which Bug Flyer? Gun to the head. You have to choose it right now.
I haven't looked into it enough.
Ah, you lose.
I like Scyther.
You like
I
Scyther?
really like Scyther.
Yeah, I'm on Scyther train right now.
Mm.
So Air Slash or Fury Cutter, guys?
Air
And
Slash. It seems to
Air
just
Slash.
really do well versus like what you needed to do well against, which is other bugs, Forretress, Vigoroth, and whatnot, and grass even. Still.
The one I noticed that was a difference is Alolan Raichu. It goes from winning that with Fury Cutter to losing that hard with Air Slash.
Right.
I think the Alolan Raichu is just going to be kind of so low that it's not a
Yeah.
big deal.
No, I agree. Beating the other bug flyings is definitely bigger if everybody's running one.
I agree. And just the fact that Alolan Raichu still loses to, like, the bug fast moves makes, you're going to be hesitant to run it against a Scyther, because what if the Scyther does have is it Bug Bite?
Fury Cutter.
Fury Cutter.
Or Fury Cutter.
Also, what about energy advantage Scythers? So can Raichu safely switch into X-Scissor?
Yeah, that's
right, because X-Scissor fires off so quickly, right?
Yeah, there's basically almost another X-Scissor ready to go at the end of that fight in the one shield.
Right.
Yeah,
What about
28
electric?
energy.
I would
to the
have to
head,
go
you have to choose-
Magneton. Magneton.
Yeah?
Or
Yeah, I
Zone.
like Magneton right now.
I mean, I
How about you,
kind of felt
Caleb?
I fell in love with Magneton from Tempest, so
For real.
Yeah, well,
I lean that
you
way.
guys, the legacies.
I don't have a legacy one, so I can't try
Exactly.
Yeah,
Caleb, you were just at GoFest. What were you doing for 3-4 days?
it out. Oh man, I was looking for a Confusion Venomoth the whole time.
That's sad. That's sad when you say it out loud.
Wait,
You should
Caleb,
think these
Confusion's not
things-
legacy.
Sorry, not Confusion. Poison Fang.
Little do you guys know, he traded for like 4 Confusion Venomoths.
Say, oh, sweet. Look at this one. He caught it, like his Gotcha or Go Plus caught it. Thinks he traced.
So guys, they were giving out legacies at GoFest. Did you get one?
Wait, I thought this was Legacy. It says you caught it 3 days ago.
It's a 2019 legacy. Come on. I swapped the moves out after GoFest.
So Noah, you said you don't have a Magneton?
I don't.
Huh?
I have a trade worked out for just a discharge one, but not a Thundershock one. Not
Okay,
both.
so you being in this very sad predicament, what would you choose for an electric if you were gonna go that route?
So just on the brief looking into it, I actually really like the way Magnezone looks.
Mhm.
Yep.
It actually beats Magneton, so I mean that's a nice bonus.
So with it seems like we're all kind of aligned with Magneton or Magnezone for that matter.
Yeah, I
So
think it's
maybe
kind of-
Raichu carves out a little niche in
Don't you
that.
dare! Don't you dare!
No,
Well,
no,
because it's
just
got
stop right there.
break, right?
Get that Raichu propaganda out of here.
Well, oh, I tried.
AJ, I'd like to make a preliminary trash bin nomination for Alolan Raichu.
Ooh, the problem with that one is that it's easy to confuse it with Kanto Raichu.
You just
So
have to
I
draw a
don't know.
surfboard. You just gotta draw the surfboard.
Or just make it the shiny version, so it's black.
Is it?
That's
is it
true.
that bad?
Then, yeah, I'm not gonna say it on stream, so we'll move on. What about Heracross, you guys? Heracross has been asked around about. We
if
didn't
I
really
had
cover
one-
it too much.
Heracross is interesting though because counter allows it to actually beat most normal types, and
Mhm.
barring Vigoroth, which can counter it back, most normal types are running ghost moves aside from Noctowl with Confusion. At least from what I've
Wait,
seen.
ghost moves? What?
Oh, Shadow Claw Perugly, Shadow Claw Linoone are two.
Wait, why are you worried about ghost moves?
I'm just saying, like, you're not worried about ghost moves. I'm saying normal types will run a ghost fast move against you for coverage against the general meta, not against Heracross.
You think so? I don't see ghosts being that important here. Generally.
Okay, what other fast move does Linoone have? It's Quick Attack Shadow Claw, right?
Right,
Oh,
but
I mean,
that's why we kind of said Linoone's not that great, because Ghost is double resisted by all the normal types, and then it has Grass Knot and Thunder, which are both resisted by all the grass types.
I mean, I guess technically less Linoone and more Perugly because it has Shadow Claw, more bulk, and then Play Rough instead of Grass Knot. But even still.
I can't see any normal type working its way into here besides Vigoroth in my mind.
Yeah, I think Vigoroth kind of just beats the other normal types out of the meta almost. I think Heracross is interesting because it beats Forretress and Vigoroth.
Yeah.
But then just gets like demolished by flying.
Yep.
But you could run an electric type to counter that. I mean, Heracross or Vigoroth paired with an electric type to counter their general weakness seems like a fairly strong early meta core, at least.
What do you guys think about Munchlax?
It's good in freestyle.
Yeah.
But not so great here. I think it's running Lick. It's like Sludge Bomb or something. Some
Gunk Shot.
It's a Gunk Shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gunk Shot Body
Bulldoze.
Slam.
It's got Bulldoze.
Bulldoze over
too.
Body Slam?
No, Body Slam for sure. I'm saying you
Yeah.
could go Bulldoze
Oh, yeah,
or
Bulldoze
Gunk
is the
Shot.
third option.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what does Bulldoze hit here over Gunk Shot? Honestly.
Forretress.
It would hit
A
like
couple
electrics.
Magneton. Yeah. Like the electric steels or rock electrics.
Bulldoze charges so slowly. I don't see.
Gunk Shot.
Yeah.
The style
Gunk Shot charges
points
slowly.
for throwing a trash bin at your opponent and it not being shielded. Even shielded. I mean, it's rude. It's rude.
It's even
like
it's
bringing-
even more rude when you lick them first to then throw a piece of trash at them.
I think.
And then
if
you lick them
someone
again.
brought-
Yes.
If someone brought a Munchlax, used Gunk Shot at me, and then brought Dunsparce, I'd be angry. I'd be upset.
So,
You'd probably
doing a
lose.
quick skim, Munchlax with Gunk Shot or Bulldoze, no different.
Yeah.
Just all Body Slam.
Basically, it's straight body slam
Right.
because it doesn't.
So
live
if you're
long
just
enough.
using Body Slam, then you might as well Vigoroth.
The only benefit you have.
Whose mic is that, by the way?
I think that's
Yeah,
Beagle,
Beagle.
like walking on the street or something.
Beagle, I muted you. We're not friends anymore.
Wait, we were friends with him to begin with?
Yeah, he
All that
keeps talking about water types.
I know, all that water propaganda. It's just driving me
Hey
crazy.
guys, regular Raticate gets dig. It's gonna be good.
Oh, dig. Yeah, because it can go underground and then not be used.
It does feel like it takes that long to charge up. It's like 80.
Yeah. Just to point out how bad regular Raticate is, 2 to 43.
Yikes.
But what does it beat, Guts?
Linoone and Perugly.
Perugly.
Wait, Guts, we haven't talked about Dunsparce yet.
Dunsparce.
There's a reason for that.
That's my trash pick, is Dunsparce so far. It's just it's perfect for it, I think.
I agree.
Yeah,
But
Dunsparce and probably Girafarig.
and it's got that drill run rock slide combo, Tristan. I mean, that's great coverage right there.
the downside of Dunsparce in the trash bin is that it's very obviously bad. Like, I don't think very many people think,
True.
oh great, bite and astonish, like that's what I need, you know? And it's like it's on the expensive side too.
Yeah, it's
I guess
too
unless you
obvious. It's too obviously bad. You need like the picks that people think are good, but they're not.
Yeah, like Arcanine last month was perfect because people kept asking about it because it's got interesting moves. But
that's how the trash bin originated. Was people kept asking about Camerupt.
Yep. Oh yeah, because it was Boulder. That's the whole Camerupt meme, you guys. Is because of Boulder, and like people on Reddit were like, "Oh yeah, Camerupt is bad," and then they would like put their italics. They would put like little italics messages on the button. It's like, now I get to use it and I'll win. You know, like they'd say stuff like that.
I thought Camerupt came up during Tempest.
There was a lot of Camerupt talking.
It comes up all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been available in like almost every single cup.
Yeah. It's been available a lot.
It came back in Kingdom too, and
Yeah.
we still.
They just need to give it Mudshot, and then it might be good.
Yeah.
Mudshot, Earth Power?
Earth Power, yeah.
Mudshot, Mud Bomb, Fire Punch. Let's.
Fire Punch.
Fire Punch.
It's a camel.
Hey, did you ever seen those things kick people? So Fire Kick.
That's not a
Blaze Kick.
Blaze Kick.
Yeah. When you guys have you guys ever like seen it in battle? Like it raises its like front legs and starts flapping its ears with its mouth open. It's just so stupid. It just looks like it's like fat too, and I don't know.
So you know what you get to look forward to? The day they add megas and mega camp.
Oh, I have one. I have a rank 22 ready to go. So.
Yeah,
That'll be
but
awesome.
won't Megas have different stats?
I don't know how megas are even going to be used. They could be that they evolve in battle, so you need something that is like 1500, or they could be something that you just catch in mega and it stays mega. But that wouldn't really be true to what mega is supposed to be, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I feel
I'm just saying that Megas have different stats, so that like it could be like they'd have to do something about that, because otherwise you could get a 1500 thing that then Mega evolves and then has stats of something above 1500, which would be a little cheap.
Even a rank 22 is low attack, you know, and high. I don't know. It could be that it's pretty good. I don't know. Maybe a perfect is best with megas. I have no idea.
I think one of the trash can picks though has to be something with fire, because I think that's the general theme that I'm getting is people.
Oh, Manectric.
people are fixated on like countering Fortress, and so there's like Manectric, all these hidden power fire suggestions. I think low punny fire punch was also thrown out there, which doesn't sim well.
Lopunny
but-
has a mega evolution too.
Could be
Yes,
good.
it does.
Good to know there, Tristan. Good to know. Among all the other
It's-
Pokemon
hey,
that's Mega.
Guys, leave him alone. It's his waifu. Okay?
Well, I want to close this out by just giving a quick. You're forced to pick 6 right now. We'll just go around and no explanation, just pick the 6. We'll record this and then we'll compare it with what 6 we're picking later down the road, like for the infographic.
Yeah, a month from now.
meta.
Something. Yeah.
Even
AJ, you
maybe
start
less.
it.
Yeah, you're gonna start it. AJ.
Okay. I'm gonna start with Forretress, Vigoroth, Magneton. Let's see. The other 3. I don't know. I'm just gonna pick some random stuff. Vespiquen.
Of course.
And Heracross. And
That's a lot of bugs.
I don't know. Someone pick something.
Dunsparce.
Yeah, it's
There you go.
Dunsparce. Yeah. So that's what I'm going with.
All right, I'll go. Forretress, Vigoroth, Magneton, Venusaur, Scyther, and maybe Raichu for double electric.
All right, Justin, polymers.
Okay. Let's see. I'll go with Fortress, Vigoroth, Magnezone, Heracross, Noctowl, and Masquerain.
Oh, it's Heracross. If you get one from me.
That's right.
Okay. Caleb.
I'm gonna go with Vigoroth, Oth, Blossom, Fortress, Noctowl, and Alolan Graveler.
And who else doesn't have their mic
Quartz.
muted? Oh,
Quartz.
Slacking.
just keep 6 of
That's it.
6 slacking.
6 slacking.
That's it.
Best team.
There you go.
Best team ever.
About Jan Snorlax.
Oh yeah, young Snorlax too. A whole team.
What
of
about you,
legacies.
Gots?
So, like, initially I want to try out Vigoroth Fort, Alolan Graveler, Scyther, Victory Bell, and maybe Noctowl or Masquerain.
And who else do we have? Oh, Noah.
Fort, Vigoroth, Scyther, Magnezone, Heracross, Venusaur.
Cool.
Did B Gold go?
All
yet?
right.
Yeah. Overall,
Yeah, I'm still
Yeah.
I'm still here, just walking through construction. Hang on.
What's the one type that you're gonna go to 6 of this time?
Water,
Well-
clearly.
Beagold has to pick Fortress because that's like his signature one. Well, actually, no. He can't pick Fortress if it's meta relevant, right? That's how it works.
I mean, I believe he said he wanted to go 6 bug and rainbow, so it's got to be 6 bug, right?
I did try out 6 bug for testing, so
Yeah.
I'll keep it a little bit more toned down at 3 bug, but Fortress, Heracross, and Butterfree. With
Butterfree.
yeah, like Bug Bite Legacy Butterfree actually.
Mm-hmm.
Count. So those 3, I guess 4 if you count Vigoroth, then the Pidgeot with Wing Attack, and I guess my grass type would be Bayleaf.
Wait. You're not choosing Ludicolo or Lombre. You're the water
No.
type guy.
Yeah, but Razor Leaf's not useful in this. So they can catch the rain all they want. They're sitting on my bench.
No lantern love, or did you mention lantern?
No, I ran Lantern in the tournament. I just won about 30 minutes ago. I've got enough Lantern for the month.
Yeah.
But next month.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think my serious grass pick, as opposed to Dunsparce, is gonna be Meganium, just to run against the common trend of Venusaur here, and we'll see if I stick to my guns later. So, thanks again for listening, Quartz. I'll hand it to you.
Yep, I will
and,
close
we
it
can
out here.
close this out.
Yeah, we have a couple of great viewers who dropped follows on us tonight, especially the last one here, Modern Re. One more thing before we head out. I think there was a Reddit post earlier that people are saying that the PvP Poke IV Checker website is down. The thing is, we actually just made a new one completely. GoStadium.club is where you want to go to check our new IV Checker website. It's up on Resource, IV Spread. So Scotty, who's been working on this, told me to mention this to you guys. The old website is not going to come back up, I don't think. This is where you can go to check your IVs for PvP purposes. And this video will be up on YouTube and Twitch for anyone who, might have come in halfway through the stream. And if you want to go back and listen to all our opinion from the beginning, it will be live on YouTube and Twitch, but only for Twitch, only for 14 days. Other than that, we should have a Rainbow Cup review stream sometime later this week, probably before the weekend, so that people can get Tristan.
I think we're shooting for Thursday night,
Cool,
but we'll announce that a bit later.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, if you're on the Discord, you want to be alerted about any stream information, make sure to give yourself a role by reacting to the announcement on Twitch live streams.
Yeah, there's a channel called Live Stream Notification. It's just above the live stream chat channel, and you just do the reaction, and it gives you the role for notification. And then another way to know about our streams is to follow us on Twitter.
Follow us on Twitter, yes. Hashtag GoStadium. Let's get PvP battlers on Twitter. Otherwise, that should be it, right, guys? Thanks to our host tonight, and thanks for people who hopped in and giving their opinions. And we'll be back soon. Let's see if we can go raid someone, actually. If anyone is playing some Pokemon Ghost right now.
Did you disconnect?
Actually, we'll just end stream now, actually. Yeah.